Welcome back. We are talking about tariffs right now. President Trump is threatening a new wave of tariffs on any country that is supporting Iran and its military during this war. The president writing this on Truth Social yesterday during the show. A country supplying military weapons to Iran will be immediately tariffed and on any and all goods sold to the United States of America. 50% effective immediately. There will be no exclusions or exemptions, writes the president. Joining me now is Zekelman Industries Chairman and CEO, Barry Zekelman. Barry, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I want to get your take. The president just made a big move on steel and aluminum tariffs, which I'm going to get to. But first, talk to us about this current Iran conflict and the impact on your business.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think the impact actually for us has been a bit positive. Things aren't moving through the Straits of Hormuz. So, imports from the UAE and Oman that were pummeling our markets have kind of slowed down. So that's helped a bit. But as you know, on April 2nd, the president issued a proclamation on 232 duties on steel and aluminum, further enhancing and strengthening the moves he already made and going back to the 2018 232 duties. So I'd like to give a huge shout out to President Trump, Secretary Lutnick, and the entire USTR team, Jameson Greer, Kimmett, and certainly Jeff Kessler. They've done a tremendous job at supporting our industry, and it's really strengthened American manufacturing here and led to tens of billions of dollars of investment in the steel and aluminum industry.
Well, I mean, let's talk about this because, you've been in this business for 40 years. This is a family business. Yeah. And, you've watched China dumping cheap steel and aluminum into this country for years. But as you said, the administration just last week adjusted tariffs on steel and aluminum and copper in a new executive order, ensuring that they align with what they're calling the full value of the same metals imported, right? So those items made of those metals will have a 50% flat tariff on their full value, while imported items making up a significant amount of the metal will face a 25% tariff, Barry. So tell me about the backdrop here and what this means for the competitive landscape that you face, because you've got imported steel and aluminum coming into the country.
We do, Maria, although it's under President Trump and the administration and his moves, it's been falling. So it's strengthening our ability to invest and continue to invest and expand our production and employ more people. I mean, can you imagine, Maria, if America didn't have a steel industry and China was able to decimate it like it has many others? Look at what's going on in front of us today. We have a huge AI data center revolution. We're going to lead the world in AI. We have to supply that with energy, and we have to build those data centers. Could you imagine if we had to turn to China and say, please, China, ship us some steel so we can build a data center or we can explore for energy? That's the vulnerability, and that's the national security aspect of our steel industry. If we didn't have that, we wouldn't be the world leader in AI. We wouldn't be energy independent. We wouldn't have that ability. So all of these things that they're doing are strengthening our ability to lead the world in everything we do. It's critical to happen, and they've done a great job. China runs around the world decimating industries so they can control it and own it, and then the cost goes up. Look at the cost if we didn't have American energy today. Look what other countries are paying that aren't energy independent for oil and gas when conflicts like this arise.
That's right. And John Ratcliffe told me a long time ago the Chinese MO, and that is rob, replicate, replace, period. They've been stealing intellectual property from America for decades, but the real, modus operandi is just to rob competitors, replicate that competitor, and eventually replace it. And so you're right. This is a serious fight. Now, the American Iron and Steel Institute reports domestic raw steel production was 1.8 million net tons as of April 4th. Capacity utilization rate hitting roughly 79%. That is a nearly 9% increase year over year. So what do you want to see in terms of production, and what kind of production and output are we talking about today?
Yeah, look, there's still about 1.5 million tons of different imported steel coming into the U.S. of various types. I think we can replace that. I mean, the U.S. steel industry is the most competitive steel industry in the world. We have the cheapest and best iron ore. We have the cheapest natural gas. We have the cheapest electricity. We have great coking coal. And we have the most efficient manufacturing. I mean, U.S. Steel is investing, Nippon U.S. Steel is investing $14 billion in their recent acquisition. Nucor is about to open up a mill in West Virginia. SDI is opening up an aluminum rolling mill, which is one of the first in decades here. Century Aluminum is investing in capacity to produce raw aluminum. I mean, we could be a net exporter of metals. And by the way, we do it cleaner than the rest of the world. So we should be doing that. So we've got still imports to displace. We can produce more steel. We can certainly employ more people. I mean, my company alone has invested $1.2 billion. We've seen over $40 billion announced in steel companies' investment in raw steel making, in rolling, and raw material expansion, pipe and tube producers like myself, and then users of the metal. So it's really a revolution that's coming here. It's fantastic. And Maria, these are high-paying jobs. These are jobs that are paying, healthcare. We're paying, $35, $40 an hour all in, and even more. I mean, the steel mills are $120,000, $140,000 a year. These are real jobs supporting great communities and supporting the middle class.
Yeah, all great points. Barry, good to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria. I appreciate it.